Welcome back to Digital Devil Saga! That's the sound of these guys. There's a body inside the wall. I'm not going to pay that any mind. Last time we entered this horrifying abomination of a dungeon and found out that it was also a teleport maze, so it's a horrifying abomination of a dungeon mechanically as well as lore-wise. You know what? Honestly, I actually am okay with this dungeon. I think it's fine. Granted, I've only ever played this dungeon with a map, so that I'm not really one to talk in that regard, but like, as far as teleport mazes go, I have seen worse. And the worst is definitely an SMT. But anyway, Hecaton Kaias is a regular encounter now. It is still weak to Earth, but it is weak to ailments now. So unlike Vitala, it didn't keep its boss resistances. Repel Death, strong to physical and gun. Thankfully, it doesn't have the doubling power punch every time it's used. Skull Cleave, Key Blast. Key Blast is actually pretty scary. It has a high crit rate, but low accuracy. Power Charge and high counter. So, yeah, as long as we have Earth skills, this should be okay. I switched back to the wrong person, apparently. Okay, yeah, let's, yeah, this is why sometimes having the change ring can kind of screw you up. Hecaton Kairas is frightened. Nice, okay. However, it's probably still going to get a turn, so hopefully it does not, because I didn't begin this part on a save point. Hopefully it does not use, okay. It gets 2 turns, though. Okay, it's probably going to be dead before it gets a chance to pull that off, but, I could be wrong, we'll see. You'd think devouring one of these would give a lot of AP. However, well, I'm not so sure. We'll find out. It's a tiny step into Dark Leader, but still, Dark Leader is very hard to master. I can't believe with only 15 agility, Sarah is still amazing, because magic still affects magic accuracy, but okay then. Right, let's bring up, so, yeah, here we are on floor 12. Okay, heading straight forward is just going to warp us back. So, currently, our choice of destination is very simple. We just go down here, and I think in here there's an item. Yes, there is. Let's grab this. The music is pretty minimalist here, but it does what it needs to. I was about to say that this is probably one of those dungeons that would scare me if I, like, played it as a kid, but no, I would not want to play this game as a kid. Like, holy crap. Especially that scene with Roland and Argilla. Like, not only is there a whole lot of blood, but also Argilla gets her neck straight up snapped. Oh, right, that's Orthrus, not Chimera. I mistook them for a moment. That's totally... We haven't actually seen an Orthrus before. Which you can get by trading a bunch of things for a novelty lamp, or was it the other way around in My Little Pony? But yeah, Orthrus is one of the other children of Echidna and Typhon, and the sibling of Cerberus and Chimera. Drain Fire, Null Charm, it's weak to ice in most games it's in. I mean, you know, most recently the one that I played on this channel was Persona 5 Strikers, where, yeah, they are very weak to ice. I used Yusuke a lot back then. Oh no. Okay, well, good news is it didn't actually hit Sarah, luckily. Speaking of, like, cartoons, I never watched the Hercules animated series growing up, but I've looked it up on TV tropes, and apparently, Echidna's actually shows up in that. They actually reference a lot of mythology in that. In fact, I believe that, Circe is in that, and she's voiced by Idra Menzel, like, the same one who voices Elsa. And she even gets a song, so that's kind of funny in hindsight. But okay, so right now we're in the middle of another damaging hallway. And yeah, all we really need to do is just walk forward. So I continue talking about this. I love how they portrayed Typhon in that animated... No, not Typhon, but also kind of Typhon. Echidna in that animated series. Well, firstly, she and Typhon are basically like a classic evil married couple, which is also hilarious. But apparently Echidna in that series gets a villain song portraying her as like a disappointed mother who is, like, annoyed that her children won't follow the same career path that she did, but the career path is being monsters and eating people. And that sounds amazing. So, okay, we've got a heal here. If we go through that warp, it's gonna send us all the way back into the damaged electric hallway we were already in. So here... Oh, this is interesting. So, if we go into the room that's next to us, that will take us beyond that warp, but that north warp is gonna take us, okay, that will take us somewhere optional and cool. So, we're gonna go ahead and do that. That is if I'm reading the map right. Yeah, it took us to the other side of this. So, don't go through that warp there, that'll just take you all the way back here. Well, not all the way back here, all the way back to that heal terminal and waste your effort. Because down here, there's going to be an elevator. And I sincerely hope that what's coming up can be done with Sarah. It might not. We'll see. For some reason, my mind is blanking out on exactly whether or not this can be done with Sarah. I know it can't be done with Gale. And by saying that, you're probably aware of what this thing is. But I am very much hoping that it can be done with Sarah, because we could use it right now. So we have this. Ether ring. This is an ether ring. Isn't like ether ring like, there's something called an ether ring in another RPG, but anyway. Ether ring. Increases HP heal when subject to healing magic. So, not your own healing, when other people heal you, you heal more. I love these, like, the variety of effects on these karma rings is really cool. There's, like, really only a couple of them that tend to see use in most playthroughs, but it is fun to experiment with them. There are some even better ones later in the game. So, okay then, before we go in here, we want to make sure that we have as many Zeo skills set across the party. You do not have any right now. But I guess I can set Mazio over Tarunda for now. And you can also set Mazio. I'll remember to give that back later. So we're going to actually go up to basement 7. Which might look like we're making negative progress, but this should be a field hunt. I just hope that you're able to do field hunt with Sarah, but this could be slipping my mind. No, you can't do field hunts with Sarah! At least remember this area for later. Because the EGG is going to be stuck like this for the rest of the game. Which makes it annoying to navigate, but actually not really, for reasons we'll see later. And I guess technically that also means that you don't really need to go out of your way to go all the items in this run, but I want to get them anyway. But that's also why all of the items from the first visit to the EGG are still, like, present in chests. I just have them already. Because I, 100% of this place the first time I went through. In that case, help me, Amoyakana, you're my only hope. You can show up twice in one dungeon. I mean, you probably won't, but it would be nice if you did. Because I would really appreciate having Mind Charge on Sarah soon. Okay, so that takes us all the way back here. Right. And that's why I got a lot of core shields. So yeah, that detour was a little pointless, but, you'll want to remember that for later. Because now we can warp to the other side here and head... Well, at least that's new. Maybe I can get a devour? There we go, nice. That would be really painful to devour between that wheel and, like, all the fire. But yeah, this is Loa. Loa are various spirits in Haitian mythology. An intermediary spirit that stands between God and humans, that expects to be properly served, not just communicated with. Wow, that is actually very appropriate for this dungeon. Repel, Dare, Strong Against Earth, Weak to Expel, and Death March is a self-destruct skill. It also has Debilitate. So that's kind of terrifying. Yeah, if only you can get frozen there. For once, I didn't want to freeze, because otherwise I could have got a second Devour. Wicked Curse. Yeah, that's damage and potentially Curse. Yeah, Fire is fine, I guess. Good thing I still have Hammer. Yeah, well, that missed. However, I do have a Hammer item. It's less accurate, though, because it's an all-targeting Hammer. Yep, that was bad. And there it goes. Makes the same sound as Chatter Skull, but that makes sense. Alright, I believe I had a buff there previously on Gale. Now we go down the stairs to floor 13, which is not actually the last floor of this place, but it is the last floor that is, like, practically part of the dungeon, so I suppose we are going with the unlucky 13 thing here. That one will just take us straight backwards. And the one we can visibly see here, that's redundant, visibly see, that's also going to take us straight backwards. They're both warp number 20, so we actually have to go in here. But we thankfully hit another save point. We're approaching where Abaddon originally was. And we don't want to go north, because that will just warp us straight back where we're currently standing, so let's go south. So we're now on the other side of this door. And around here, yeah, this is this square section of room. So that's warp 21, what I'm facing right now. Warp 21 leads me just kind of backwards, so yeah, we don't want to take that. We want to take warp 23, which is on the other side of this. Thankfully, there aren't nearly, like, you know, there's almost 70 warp pulleys in the final dungeon of the first game. There aren't nearly that many warps here. So now we're at the south end, and here we just need to head to this one, and we're going to fight a bunch of legions in here. Because I can definitely read the katakana from here. It says Region. There we go. Will is pure, okay, I guess you're supposed to be some kind of pure primal force of just, you know, devouring and natural selection, maybe. I'm probably looking too far into it. Bolt, I probably should have devoured. But again, that was a mini-boss. If you have these guys' weaknesses, they're really not that bad. And we're getting oddly close to being done with this dungeon. But this is going to lead us over here. And this is where we take a bit of a detour, because, I mean, I suppose I can actually go through here first, and, because there's a save point. So we can use this at least. And heading down there is going to lead us out of this place. We could go straight through there, but we're going to be coming back that way anyway. But if we want to get all the items, we're going to have to take a little bit of a detour that's going to force us to backtrack a bit. Because down here, there is warp 25. Which leads us to this room with 2 chests in it. And they are 1 revival gem. And another jasmine. And now we have no choice but to hit this warp, which is going to lead us all the way back to the start. So, excuse me while I make my way back. And we get Cielo at level 36. Actually, maybe Sarah is just set to the highest level out of the party, not the average. It definitely depends on the rest of your party's levels. Oh yeah, the good news is the warps that you haven't used aren't marked on the map, so if you only use the necessary ones, it's easier to figure out how to get back to where you were. Okay, that could be bad, actually. Now, I believe this is actually the last save point before the big boss of the dungeon, so you probably want to hit this after you've made your major preparations. So, we want to go into this room. That's a lot of lowers. Okay, now we go in here. And this leads us to... Yeah, you might notice there's an elevator there and a chest. But yeah, if we head down this hallway, we get to the boss. But if we go through here instead... that warps us to the chest in the elevator. So that's why I didn't want to take the elevator down first. Because we would have been coming back this way anyway. And that gets us the one of the villains from Steven Universe. I like how there is conveniently a gem with Mal in its name that you can use as a villain name. But yeah, the elevator comes out in basement 13, leading us back through what used to be the lab where we fought Abaddon. Can't you hear it from the vortex? It's so sad and painful. I heard that voice and I wanted to comfort it, and then I was here. Don't think we can even examine any of this stuff anymore. But okay, now it's time to get ready because there's a very, very major boss fight coming up. Probably the most important fight we've faced so far. And for this fight, you will want any kind of major anti-ice shield if you have them. Ice Drain is going to be very nice. I'm going to take that over Ice Boost, which I will not be needing. I'm going to keep one Ice skill. I might as well just make it normal Bufu, just to demonstrate something and prove a point. Now, do you have any Zeo? You do not have any Zeo. Okay, so you're going to be more relegated to support in this fight and, like, combos. But you might still be able to use Zeo combos. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot more she can do. Cielo, meanwhile, definitely equip your best Zeo skills and Elect Boost. You do not have any anti... oh, you do? Okay, you have Void Ice. I can take Void Ice over Hummer. And I very much want Tarunda. Oh, you don't even have Medea, so I don't have access to the Angelic Grace combo. Huh. That could be unfortunate. But you are absolutely taking Zionga and Elect Boost. Unfortunately, I don't have Sukunda on this party. I'll have to make do with Tarunda. Okay, so even though it's a little inferior, I will take Mazio over Bolt Flare. Reliable damage is the name of the game here. An attack that hits a random number of times will definitely mess you up. Oh, do I not have access to the Dekunda combo in this party? Dekunda's really useful for this, actually. I mean, don't feel too bad if you don't have access to a lot of combos right now. It's kind of not likely that you've really built up the party for this. I suppose I'll have to make up for it by just casting more buffs. And not having any defense buffs is a problem. Now, you are fully free to use this terminal to warp back to the entrance, sell your flowers for money, and then grind more mantras. So, like, I would definitely recommend doing that if you have trouble with this upcoming fight, which you might. It's kind of brutal. But okay, to get there from the save point, you need to head through here. Void Panic might also be useful. And you'll take Diorama over Devour. Okay, actually it turns out Bufala and Ice Boost are useful for this. And I think I'm going to actually put Gale first. Because he might be able to Makakaja before the others get their turns. And from here, we just head straight down. Through this door, and you might even hear its roars if you listen closely, is our target. Yep, there was the roar. Sad, bitter crying can be heard on the other side of the... Here we go.
It's about time.
Heat.
I told you I was strong, Sarah. Now, I just have to devour you.
I'm sorry, Heat. I know that I've made you suffer. Devour me if that's what you really want. But please, allow me to talk to God first.
Talk to me.
You don't understand.
Stand back, Sarah.
Be careful. We wanna talk with you, bro. Just the way you like it.
Let's go.
This is Vritra, the horrifying result of heat-absorbing Surf's demon form and becoming this fusion of the two of them. Vritra was another enemy of the god Indra in Hindu mythology. Their name means enveloper. They were both an Asura and a dragon. Once he stole and kept all the world's water to himself, but he was eventually defeated by Indra. I am not going to be showing his elemental affinities yet, because that's actually kind of a spoiler, but Vritra uses Tarunda, Makunda, Rakunda, every debuff, Argidyne, Silent Howl for a chance of mute, Sonic Wave to inflict panic, and his main move is, we might see his main move later. But he also has the tentacles here. Now, these tentacles, we need to beat the tentacles to get to the main body. Otherwise, if they're still alive, the tentacles will intercept any damage aimed at the main body. The tentacles don't have any weaknesses, but they do null fire and earth. So anything besides fire and earth is fine. However, you want to be careful when attacking the tentacles, because you want to try and keep their health as even as possible. And for this, Zionga is generally the best bet, although I do also kind of like to set up some buffs and debuffs early on, especially Tarunda to make his attacks have less bite. But with Sarah going last, I can just show this. So hey, I mean, it's heat, he's weak to ice, right? No, you dumb bastard, that won't do a damn thing! Yeah, he's actually changed up his affinities. He's now weak to electricity. And the reason for that is that Indra is another enemy of, Vritra is another enemy of Indra. So, okay then, we're a little bit hurting. I do like to set up some buffs and debuffs, like, right off the bat here, though the Tarundas will eventually be negated because he does, start to use Rakunda to lower your defense. I am going to use Ice Drain here, though. And hopefully I've timed it well. No, he's not using his thing. Okay. He does have a very powerful ice skill called Gelid Torrent, and you really want to nullify this, because if anybody gets frozen by it, and it has a very high chance of freeze, if anybody gets frozen by that, Vritra has very smart AI and will respond to the freeze by constantly focusing down that frozen character with his tentacle physical attacks, and getting a whole bunch of press turns. So yeah, you do not want that to happen. I'm gonna actually go ahead and heal. Just, things are slow going right now, but that's kind of how I want it to be. Please use your thing. Here it is. Gelid Torrent. Gelid just means really cold. But if you have Repel or Drain Ice, it'll ruin his whole turn with that. But really the reason you want to do that is, again, so you don't get frozen. Because being frozen in this fight is extremely bad. Okay, so now we've got one magic buff up. So with that, I can start Ziongaing the tentacles. Okay, that's the first tentacle attack. He usually doesn't use Gelid Torrent 2 turns in a row, but it can be a little unpredictable when he uses Gelid Torrent. So I'm going to Bufala the other one. Oh, that's more damage, okay. Oh, wow. He proved me wrong. Thankfully, nobody got frozen, though. That's very lucky. Like, that is insanely lucky. That attack has a very high freeze rate. But, okay. I guess I need 2 Ziongas on that tentacle to make up for it. Okay, so now we've got, like, roughly even again. I'm just basically keeping track of this, and you're going to use a healing item. If there's any time to use your medical tools, it's now. And in fact, now might be a good time to use your magic mirrors. Maybe even attack mirrors, but Vritra's first attack is always going to be a magic attack, usually, or a debuff. So magic mirrors will generally ruin his day. And they also block the Gelid Torrent. Well, someone's used his Power Wave. So that was a complete waste of a magic mirror. Yeah, Heat is a troll. He's proving me wrong in this fight, but okay. So yeah, they're about even again? Or do I Makakaja again? No, I want to go for some attacks here. Okay, that's down to red. So now I'm going to Zionga the other tentacle. So now they're both red. So that's good, both of them being red, and now I'm gonna... Okay. Second time's the charm! Silent Howl. I believe that counts as magic? Yeah, it does, okay. So now, this should die. There we go, that's gone. And this should die. So now, both of the tentacles are down, and that means we can pelt the main body with its weakness to electric attacks. Sarah's gonna have to use electric items, but if there's any time to use these, it is now. Because, yeah, he is still quite scary in this form. He has a very, very, very powerful attack that is almighty and hits everybody. In fact, if you use that now, I'm kind of screwed. So I'm going to use a heal. Which might not even be enough to save me. The only real counter to this is defense. Oh boy, he's going for it right away. Dang it, that's bad. Don't kill anybody, please. So yeah, as fiery as this looks, this is actually almighty damage. And apparently it can't miss. If that hits Cielo and gets a weakness, that could be bad. Okay. Okay, thankfully, Sarah's going last. I once lost this fight to Sarah being panicked, which I'll be showing on the fail channel after this. So, okay, I guess I should just go for some... I want to go for some Mega Zeo spam, but also I don't like leaving her, panicked. Good thing I actually brought Panaceas this time. So you're going to... no, if I heal, I can still get 2 Zeos in. So you're going to go Medical Tool. Like, heck, even Somas at this point. Somas are definitely fair game. But you might want to set up Void Panic to cover Cielo from getting hit by Sonic Wave. Yeah, he says that when you figure out his weakness. So, the reason why I wanted to... Also, Archedyne's really bad if it hits Sarah, but, I mean, you could try and use a Fire Shield to block that, but, I personally find... Like, honestly, like, there's way too many things you have to block in this fight. I'd rather just focus on using, like, Magic Mirrors, maybe. Let's go for a Void Panic here. I will need to heal at some point. And I should probably heal with Sarah, because she's my weakest in terms of damage, which is kind of sad. If you have, like, Zeo on Surf or Sarah, that is actually incredibly useful for this fight. I probably should have prepared that in advance, but oh well. I am just going to use medical here. But, I was saying... Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, so... Right. The tentacles. Basically, he will regenerate the tentacles eventually, but the closer together that you kill the tentacles in terms of turns, the longer he'll take to bring them back. This is a very interesting thing about the fight, that once you know it, it makes the fight a lot easier. You want to kill both tentacles in the same turn, because that will mean that he takes the maximum amount of time to bring them back. If you kill the tentacles too far apart, he'll regenerate them very quickly. So yeah, here it almost feels like Heat's goading us on. Oh boy, Inferno Roar again. Ugh. I think Makakaja kind of increases your defense against this very slightly. Yeah, Sarah is taking very little damage from that because of a massive magic stat. And thank you, Void Panic. But, okay, speaking of which, I think I probably should go for another Makakaja. Again, medical gear, just go all out, pull out all the stops. This is like one of the biggest climactic boss fights of the entire game, so just use everything, like, in your arsenal. You will need it. Well, okay, we have time to use Void Panic, which is good. Yeah, it almost seems like he's encouraging us. The fact that this thing has a mouth on its throat is pretty horrifying. Okay, that did about the same. Thank you, Void Panic. I guess I'll Makakaja now. Gonna need to heal again. Yeah, he has a lot of health. Don't be surprised if it takes ages to get him down to red. Actually, Void Panic again, just to be totally safe. Don't want to take any chances here. Still not red, but obviously we're going to be using another medical... Yeah, we have less than 300. This is a full heal. Mostly using the full heal item for swag points. Secunda, that could be bad. This is why I like having the Dekunda combo. Makunda. That means less defense against his almighty attack, but I can make up for that by using Makakaja. Again, I'm pretty sure I was at max stacks of that before. Oh boy, I've got to play it safe. I can't afford to be risky here. I can still get 2 Zyongas in. Nope, still Inferno Roaring, okay. As long as this doesn't kill us, because he usually uses Sonic Wave right after, we should be fine. Because he'll just use Sonic Wave and then we'll nullify it with Void Panic. Still not done. There he goes! Okay, yeah. That went pretty smoothly, but that is legitimately a very rough fight if you're unprepared. And you probably will be, because you're using a very limited party. And so, now that we have defeated Vritra, I am going to be a jerk and end the video here. Because next time things are going to happen. And I have a lot to say about it. And I'd rather that be its own part. So, I'll see you all next time for the full truth of everything. Huh. Oh, right, this. This is not actually fire damage. This is actually almighty. It might look fire, but it's not. And that's the potential Cielo weakness, which didn't actually hit Cielo, that's good. But Sarah being panicked is also not what I want. I would very much like to Revival Gem. Damn it! Ah! Oh no! Oh no! That's really bad. I might be dead here, actually. I probably am dead. Oh, wow. That was actually horrendous luck, because if she'd done anything other than... I mean, okay, it's on me for keeping Bulimpa on her skill set. But still.